Hello and welcome into Cavs Daily, your one-stop shop for everything Cavaliers related. We are presented by Fan Art. I'm your host, Paul Williams, and I appreciate you guys being here with me as we count down the days until the NBA tips off. Just about a month from today. We will be covering the Cavs through the season, after the season, and we will be doing it on a daily basis. So I hope that you guys will join me for that. If you do enjoy the content, please subscribe and comment, like, share, all that stuff. And with that, let's get to the first topic of the day as we discuss a couple teams who have been very top-notch competitors in the Eastern Conference in recent years, but due to big injuries in the playoffs last season, it looks like they're going to be pretty down for the 25-26 season, and those teams are the Indiana Pacers and the Boston Celtics. With Tyrese Halliburton getting injured in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. He's set to miss at least next season. And same with Jason Tatum from the Boston Celtics, who was injured in the second round of the playoffs. They're both definitely going to miss this upcoming season. And the injuries they're dealing with leaves no guarantees that they'll be back right away to begin the 26-27 season. And even if they are back in time to begin that season, it's very unlikely they're going to be back to full strength. It usually takes athletes and NBA players a season to kind of get reacclimated, get back comfortable and confident within their own body after going through a devastating injury. Just not as easy as take a year off and you come right back ready to go. And with those doubts, along with both teams losing some key pieces in this offseason, it's had me thinking, everyone's kind of in agreement that both of these teams probably aren't going to be competing at all this year, but I don't know if I see either of these teams with the core that they've been successful with in recent years being top-notch competitors anytime soon, and that goes for the 26-27 season, 27-28. They're definitely going to have to maybe not rebuild, but retool. I mean, the Celtics lost a lot of key pieces, including and mainly Porzingis and Drew Holiday, which are two championship-level guys who kind of completed what the Celtics had been searching for years and years with the Tatum-Brown core. Once they got Holiday and Porzingis, they were finally able to get over the top. They've now lost them both, as well as losing some bench pieces, which I don't know. The Celtics kind of did a lot of salary dumping this offseason, and it's hard for me to see the path to where they're able to replace the type of production, chemistry, and just high-level championship basketball that they lost with the guys that are now on other teams. So the Celtics are obviously a good organization, so I'm sure they will be competitive again sooner than later, but I don't see them just automatically bouncing back and being a top 3 team in the East in the next couple of seasons. It's going to take time, and I don't know if a recovering Tatum and Jaylen Brown are enough to make them automatic contenders. So I think it's going to be a while before we see the Celtics really fighting for another NBA championship. And same with the Pacers, or maybe even worse in their case, as I feel like what they did the past couple of years was kind of just magic carpet ride type runs. I don't know if it was sustainable even without this injury, and now Halliburton is going to be a while before he's close to the Halliburton that he was the past couple of years, which to me was still an inconsistent player that's hard to really build a championship team around. He had a lot of help this playoff run where they made it to the finals, and that's going to be tough to duplicate or replicate. And they lost Miles Turner, which, whatever you feel about him, he was a big piece for that team. So I don't see the Pacers or the Celtics being a real threat in the East for at least the next couple of years, and it could go beyond that depending on what moves they do make to kind of fill in their roster when they feel they are ready to compete again. So while everyone's saying the 25-26 season is wide open in the East because of these injuries, I think that might be more of the norm until other teams rise up rather than just a one-year break until the Celtics and Pacers recover. Now, speaking of some teams rising up, who are some of those teams that may take the spots atop East that were the Celtics for a long time and then the Pacers always fighting for the 4 or 5, 6 seed? I think a couple teams come to mind as far as the teams that might immediately replace those teams up top. And then there's a couple potential teams I think can work their way into that spot maybe within a year or two, depending on having a few things break their way. Again, I know I've brought them up a few times, but I think the Philadelphia 76ers are one of the teams that are going to replace one of the top 5 spots in the East that were held by these two teams. I do think that they are very heavily slept on at the moment, and I think that they're going to compete in the East for the next couple years and be one of the teams that continue to make the East more competitive than people may think it's going to be. Also, at least for this year, the Bucks, I do think, will play a role in the top 5 standings of the East. After that, it really depends on Giannis's future. It can flip in a hurry. But some other teams that I think have some pieces and could put themselves on the proper trajectory to flirt with the top 5 or 6 seed in the East. One of those teams are the Toronto Raptors, who I've also spoken about, but I see the talent that they do have, and if Brandon Ingram is able to integrate himself well with some of the holdovers like R.J. Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickley, I do think that they could fight for a top 5 seed in the East sooner than later, or even a number 6 seed, which the Pacers were flirting with throughout the year last year till getting hot at the end of the season. So I see them as a possible kind of replacement for the Pacers and what they had been in the regular season the past couple of years. And then the Orlando Magic, they could be a team that could immediately become a top 4 Eastern Conference team, or it could take maybe a year or two, but they might be able to find themselves into that mix as well. I know a lot of people are already putting them there, and it is a possibility with the state of the East, but I don't think it's a guarantee, and I think it might be a year or two away for that to happen for the Magic, but I'm not writing them off either, as they do have some talent. Now, speaking of some talent, the Cavs have a ton of that, but a place they might not be as flush with talent as they are in other areas is their backup big man position, which outside of Larry Nance is pretty thin. They have the great starting duo of Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, and then they have Larry Nance coming off the bench, who has had his own injury issues over the past couple years and can't be completely relied on 100%. So what are the Cavs' plans if something does go awry with Larry Nance or one of their starting big men? Do we need to bring someone in, or do we have a possible not only replacement for any injuries, but a guy that might be able to steal some rotational minutes regardless of the state of the rest of the rotation? I think we might. I have been watching and digging in more into Naquan Tomlin, and I don't know. I just really like what I see. Tomlin is a 24-year-old undrafted kid who spent last year mostly with the Canton Charge, played some time with the big boys on the Cavs roster, but didn't get meaningful minutes. He bounced around in college for a while, before playing at Memphis his final year and Kansas State the year before that. After going undrafted, the Cavs scooped him up, and he showed a lot. He showed why. He was able to continue to get shots at the D1 level and why he was getting some buzz going into the 2024 draft. Obviously, he did not get enough buzz to be selected by any team, but the Cavs did swipe in very quickly and scoop him up, put him on a summer league team, and he's performed ever since. In the small amount of time he did get on the court for the Cavs last year, he averaged 7 points and 4 rebounds in 12 minutes, which just kind of shows the type of player he is. He can put up numbers in a hurry. He's a hustle guy that can also score. He was dominant in the G League last year, averaging just under 21 points and 9 rebounds. He can also stretch the floor and shoot a little bit. He's 6'9", 6'10", pretty long and lengthy. Can play defense, but he still does have to shore up his defense a bit. But just with his size alone, he can be a factor on the defensive end, and he's a good rebounder already, which is a defensive trait. So I think Tomlin may get a few chances and have some moments this season. He's still super young, and on a championship level team, it's going to be tough for him to get too many opportunities, especially if he doesn't take advantage of the ones he gets early on. But he could be a player that gives the Cavs an extra option and helps them kind of stay away from the free agent bin of needing to bring in an old vet that was unsigned or someone that gets cut or bought out. Maybe Tomlin can fill that role even better for the Cavs. And if he is able to do that, then the Cavs know they have another building block for the future. So it's like a double bonus if we are able to get anything out of him this season. So just someone to keep your eye on, as I do think he can have an impact this year. I don't think he's going to be our starting center at any point or play 25 minutes a game, but a guy that you can go to throughout a long regular season, and he's going to produce for you and not be a negative on the court. That can be very important as the Cavs try to stay healthy and prepare for the playoff run. So keep your ears to the street for the name Tomlin, as I do think he could be a pleasant surprise for the Cavs this season. Now, to wrap things up today, another pleasant surprise for the city of Cleveland that was announced on June 30th. Cleveland will once again be getting a WNBA franchise. This will be the first time Cleveland has had a WNBA team since 2003 when the Cleveland Rockers dissolved. The new WNBA team will be spearheaded by Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cavs and someone who has just done a ton for the entire city of Cleveland. They still aren't named yet, so that'll be interesting to see what they do in that regard. Do you guys like the Rockers? Do you think they should go back to that? Should they start off fresh? I kind of personally like the Rockers and think that it is fitting for the city of Cleveland, and I wouldn't mind if they went back to that, but it is still yet to be seen. So who knows? Maybe the fans will have a big voice in what the team is going to be called. They will play their games at the Rocket, which is the home of the Cavs as well. So they will be the sister organization of the Cavs. And with that, and with them just being a Cleveland professional team, we will be supporting them here. They won't be tipping off till 2028, so still a bit of time. They will be the 16th team in the WNBA when they do tip off in 2028. And then they will be followed by Detroit and Philadelphia in 29 and 30, respectively, to round out the WNBA with 18 teams. So it's exciting, even though I know the WNBA is still catching up in popularity. It's a pro sport. It's got a lot of talent in the league, and it is fun to watch if you give it a chance. So I am excited for Cleveland to have the WNBA team. We will follow along, and who knows what Cavs Daily will have become by the time the Cleveland WNBA team is ready to tip off. But hopefully we're still here rocking it out, and we can also keep you updated with what's going on with that squad as well. Wonder what you guys think about a WNBA team. Do you not care at all? Do you not like the idea of that? Are you excited? Are you going to be following and cheering? And do you have any opinion on a possible team name? Please let me know all of that, as we will discuss it on future episodes. And we will be discussing much, much more when it comes to Cleveland sports in general, especially Cleveland basketball. So I hope you will stick with me and join me for all that. For now, we're going to wrap things up. We had winning Browns Sunday today, so the city of Cleveland should be feeling pretty good about that. The Guardians still locked into the final wild card spot and just a game behind the Detroit Tigers to overtake them for yet another Central Division crown. We're here for that too, obviously, and I will be keeping you updated with every step those teams take and everything that goes on with the Cavs here on Cavs Daily. For now, we will wrap things up, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you being here. Have a great night.